It's now time for Me and My Roku with host Peter Clay. Roku is not a one-hit wonder.
So I told my guy Peter.
So we have a voicemail now from Peter.
Pete, you are not. This is what it's all about, isn't it? Oh, wow. Oh, boy.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another spectacularly spontaneous, superlicious edition of Me and My Roku. Whatever that means. We're having fun. Fun with cord cutting. Fun with whatever it is you want to do with your Roku. As long as you're enjoying it, I'm enjoying it. So I'd like to come along and spread the fun with you. And hopefully you're enjoying it as well. It's a National One-Hit Wonder Day. I couldn't think of anything. I thought that Roku was going to be a one-hit wonder, but they have certainly surprised me after almost a decade of fun. But on a day like today, I always like to remind everyone that AHA is not a one-hit wonder, okay? They had a top 20 hit with The Sun Always Shines on TV, plus they had a James Bond theme, okay? That alone disqualifies them. Plus all the things they've done in Europe. So, every time I look up and I see it's One Hit Wonder Day, do you know that AHA has been played on YouTube 850 million times a day? Well, yeah, because they're awesome. Anyway, this is about your Roku. Well, it's about my Roku. It's me and my Roku. And hopefully then you take from what I've learned and share and everything like that and take it to your Roku and you enjoy yours as well then. That's what we do here. Plenty of things to talk about, so let's have some fun and let's get started. Okay. Well, are you getting excited? Yeah, that's right. We're 6 weeks away from the release of Disney Plus. I know you're on just pins and needles. Just can't wait for your cord cutting needs. Add into your Roku, and you can probably get rid of a quarter of your apps because it'll all be on Disney Plus. Oh, you think I'm joking? Well, thanks to Cord Cutting News, they have released the complete list of everything that'll be available on Disney Plus at launch November 12th, 2019. And wow, what a list it is. Hey, forget that all the Marvel movies. Okay, forget about all that stuff. Forget about all the Star Wars stuff, including Rogue One and Han Solo. Forget about all those classic Disney things like Cinderella and Snow White and The Jungle Book. That's right, folks. At last, The Cat from Outer Space will once again be available. Oh, yeah. That's right. What more do you need with Ken Berry, Sandy Duncan, and McLean Stevenson? All your needs will be fulfilled with Disney Plus, or Disney Plus, however you want to pronounce it. Whew! I can't wait. Counting down the days. There's countdown apps, right? That'll count down to these things. That's right. Other things going on. Roku has announced that they're updating some hardware and some software for you, adding a new Roku Ultra and a new Roku Express. Don't forget about the Roku soundbar. That's also going to be coming out with the new Ultra built in as well on that. That'll all be coming out in very shortly, certainly before Black Friday and all that good stuff. The software, then, if you don't want to upgrade your hardware, I'm being told, and who knows what these people will tell you, that the new software works better with the new hardware. However, the new updates to your, let's say like your OS type of thing, so it's 9 point something, will indeed make things run better for you, just a little faster. Some people, I imagine these are people who use Apple TV, because apparently it just zips along with that weird remote. Again, I'm not judging because I don't have an Apple TV yet, for research purposes. So I don't know exactly the details on it, but apparently you zip along on an Apple TV, and then when you go back to a Roku, it seems like I have never had that problem. However, yes, the Roku Ultra does zip along a little better than the Roku LT. But once you get going, you're going, and you're fine. So that's little updates there from me and my Roku.
Yeah. Come on. Ooh, no, no. Dance, dance, dance. Gonna make you dance, dance, dance.
Okay, well, there's a lot of things going out there, folks. There's the trade war, and then there's the streaming wars. Dun, dun, dun. Lots of things going on. Everyone's taking on, seemingly, Netflix with Disney Plus coming out, Apple TV Plus coming out, Viacom merging with CBS, Peacock coming out, all aiming their quivers right at Netflix. But is Roku in danger? What the heck is that all about? Now, their stock price has gone just ridiculous, and I swear that's just because we came back with this podcast in May, and by we, I mean me. But there's an interesting take out there. Here's a trader, not analyst, he's a trader. Here's Brian Kelly on CNBC's Fast Money.
I like Tim's argument on AT&T, but I really just think that the story here is kind of the demise of Netflix and Roku. We haven't talked a lot about. Well, we knew at some point in time.
In a world where they go out of business.
Exactly, where they're meteors and they flash out. But let's even talk about Roku. What does Roku do? Right? They basically, you buy the hardware to connect to the internet so you can stream. Every TV going forward is going to have that on. So a part of their business is going away. So between Roku and Netflix, they are rightly down quite a bit. And I think they probably go lower.
Well, that's it, kids. It's all over. Stop the podcast. It's all done. Look, is the stock going to go, does it need to go to 200 or anything like that? No, the stock went nuts for a while there. And who knows why that does it? Who knows why Netflix has been worth as much as it is? So I'm not going to argue him on that. I'm sure he knows what he's talking about there. But to think that it's going away, hey, I thought that. That's why I did this show, and that's why I did this show through the Internet Archive, because you could go to the archive and look there. There was this thing called a Roku. Now, is it going to last forever? I have no idea. But to think that it's going away, I think is it. And the fact that part of its business is going away, they're in half the TVs as it is now. And I think a lot of companies are going to be looking to them as being the backbone. Now, this leads to one thing that I have talked about and preached about for years, and I will continue. Our latest TV had Android TV built into it with a Chromecast, and it's not a Roku. So whether your TV has it or not, I recommend an outside box. I don't care if it's a Fire TV, a Chromecast, or an Apple TV, or a Roku. I recommend Roku. That's why I do a podcast. But I don't think it's going away. So points well taken on the business side. Can the stock just skyrocket forever with no consequences and no dividend and no anything like that? No, I don't think so. But I don't think the business is going away. But we'll see. Isn't that when it's fun? Anyway, that's the business side of me and my Roku.
Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Now, baby.
Okay. Well, some news came across my desk, and I found it kind of interesting, and I thought, well, let's talk about this for just a second. Apparently, the AirTV app has been removed from the Roku channel store, and that people who had the app, who were going to it, found that it wasn't working any longer and all that stuff. So, I don't have it, so I didn't really want to talk about it, but it did remind me of something that I thought maybe we should discuss. There are some things that I don't like to mix, okay? If I get a really good bourbon or really good scotch, I don't like to put it in soda then, you know? So you hear about scotch and soda and whiskey and soda and all that stuff. There's certain ones you don't want to mix. You know, you don't want to ruin the things. And I don't like to mix my antenna with my Roku. I like to keep them separate. That's me. That's why it's me and my Roku. So I have a pretty decent, because I'm still in the city limits, but I'm kind of on the outskirts a little bit. But I still get good reception. So I keep my antenna through the TV, and it works out pretty well for the most part. And so I have never wanted to then take an antenna and then a separate device and then hook that into the Roku. That seems like more things can go wrong there. There's a lot of moving parts there. So the TV has a place for the antenna, so that has that, and then it has an input for the Roku. So I like to keep them separate. That's me. So that is my recommendation. Because if an antenna is working for you, then it's the same deal. So another option for you then, if you have a cable alternative, some of those will have your local channels as well. Again, not all of them. I know YouTube TV has just added PBS, but PlayStation View and Sling will have at least Fox and ABC and NBC. And then, of course, then there's CBS All Access, and that'll have your local channel as well there. So just a recommendation from me to you. Keep your antenna on your antenna and keep your Roku with your Roku. That's what I do with me and my Roku.
Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, 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 yeah.
All right, kids, gather around. Time to Uncle Pete give you a little talk here or anything like that. So at the time of the program, we come bi-weekly where once again we talk about things. I have never asked for anything. We're 24 episodes in, and I'm not going to at any point right now. But 24 episodes in, didn't think I would get this far. Wasn't going to pack it in and quit, but it's just something I like to do, and I'd like to share things with you. A while back, I kind of stopped podcasting for a while. Just got involved with other things and all that stuff. Not quite life getting in the way, but just had other interests for a while. And that's neither here nor there. You don't care about that. But in the meantime, I did stop a podcast that I was doing with my cousin called Bummin' Cousins. And he's in California and I'm in Wisconsin. And we would go to thrift stores, flea markets, swap meets, and all those different things. And then we would discuss what we find in the different areas that we live in and all that stuff. And hilarity would ensue and all that stuff. So it's not that it was canceled or anything like that. We just moved along with life a little bit and type of things. So still a good podcast and still things that you can learn from and all that stuff. And that is available through the Internet Archive at archive.org. One of the things that I ask that you think about supporting and all that stuff, because they're doing an incredible job. And especially when I didn't want to do a podcast anymore, I thought the archive was just a good spot to be stored in perpetuity type of thing. So if you would like a podcast about bumming and thrift stores and stuff like that, that is available at archive.org, along with the whole internet and Grateful Dead concerts and a whole bunch of other things for your entertainment purposes or information purposes. It is actually a resource that's available to everyone. Check it out today at archive.org. Alrighty. Woo! Well, a new survey's out, and if you've been listening to the program for a little while, you know how I feel about those. But this one's interesting. That a new survey shows that cord cutters pay for 3 or fewer services. So the noise is going around that there's a lot of streaming fatigue and all that stuff, and by the time you get all these different things and all that stuff, you're paying just as much as you were for cable and all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. And when the survey turns out that, well, people aren't doing that. They're just getting what they need and moving on with life, which is the recommendation of this show. Paying for is the key word there, because if you're a freak like me, I'm going out there and getting gift cards and all that stuff. I'm getting these things. And technically I'm paying for them with the gift cards, but it's not coming out of money out of my pocket type of thing. So if you're actually forking over the cash or PayPal or Venmo or whatever you're doing with those things, be judicious about that. And it sounds like from that survey of anywhere from 250 to 500 people, they're doing 3 or fewer. And so the recommendation in this program is 1 cable alternative, 1 subscription service, and everything else is available to you free, whether through authentication channels or just ad-supported video on demand shows type of thing. So plenty of free stuff out there. Let's get to that in our comings and goings. And coming is Nosey, Nosey. Now, some of this stuff's available on some ad-supported networks like Pluto and stuff like that, but I just found that I didn't want to wait around. If I need a Maury fix, I don't want to have to go through Steve Wilkos or Jerry Springer to get to it. I want Maury, damn it. That's available on the Nosey app. That's available through the channel store, and it's free. So anytime you need a Maury, just like the intro on this show, I'm not the father this time. A couple of goings. A little disappointed. The America's Test Kitchen app was non-functional, and that typically means it's been It wasn't removed from the channel store, but when you go to log in, it kind of kicks out. That usually means it's no longer in service. I'll double check it, so maybe next week it's back and all that stuff. I know they have a new season coming up, and maybe they were just preparing for that. Also, the Fox Now app. This one was it was just a redundancy thing. There wasn't anything on that app that I couldn't get through either PlayStation View or Hulu. So I thought, well, why do I have another app clogging up my system type of thing? So Fox Now, gone, probably for good. But thank you, though. You did a good job, and you were fine. America's Test Kitchen, hopefully that's just a little snafu. Sometimes that happens. Servers go out. Someone forgot to plug it in. Someone was walking down and kicked the cord. That happens. So anyway, that's the comings and goings for this show. And speaking of goings, I've got to run. I've got to get out there. I got to mow the lawn. I got to get back to my Roku. I got lots of stuff going on, so it's crazy. But thank you for joining us, and thank you so much. And by us, thank you for joining me. Anything that you need, you want to add to this program somehow, you have a suggestion or anything like that, that's fine. You can email me at meandmyrokupodcast@gmail.com. Special thanks to archive.org for their support. And you can subscribe to the Me and My Roku podcast as my cat bangs into the mic. To keep him from doing that, help and support us and subscribe at Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, YouTube, iHeartMedia. Wait, one more. Radio.com. All right. Thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying your Roku as much as I'm enjoying me and my Roku. And I'll join you real soon.